Hello, this is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. This is card number 2 in my Christmas card series. I am using Joy ornaments from Mama Elephant. And I have the second size down rectangle cut out of my stitched rectangle set from Lil Inker Designs. And then I'm going to be stamping out Joy, and then I'm using the rounded ornament for the O. And then I'll be stamping this little design in the middle of it. And I'm going to be stamping it with VersaFine Onyx Black and then embossing over it with embossing powder, but I'm going to be using an iridescent sparkle. So essentially like clear with sparkles in it is what I'm hoping I remembered this was. It ends up turning out really cool, so I'm glad I used that one. So I am stamping out each letter, each one stamped great on the first try. And then I'm just going to center that little design in the middle of the ornament for the O. And then I'm trying to contain this as best I can. The sparkles actually stick to a lot of the paper, so I'm going to reach for a paintbrush that I keep, especially for this, and try and get rid of most of it. And then I think I brushed away one little bit of it, so I had to put more on there. But eventually I just kind of take it to the side and blow it off to get most of it. That's anything that's not sticking to the letters. So I had to blow that away, and I didn't have too much embossing powder on my table, so that's good. And then just slowly melting these, and it's basically black and sparkly, so it looks really cool. It's obviously a lot easier to see in person. When I'm done with the card at the end, I'll be showing you, I'll be tilting it a little bit in the light so you can see what it looks like. So then I'm going to color these in. I am using only my new Ohuhu markers, the 72 set of brush tip. You can kind of see the sparkles in the light there. So I knew that I wanted red and green for the J and the Y. It didn't matter which one was red or green, but I couldn't think of a color that would go with red and green. And so I aimed for like silverish. I wanted this to appear like a silver ball. And then yellow in the middle for like the star or whatever that is. So I do a lot of blending because these two colors are not quite next to each other, but this set only has so many, so many grays or cool grays. And so I'm going from 4 to 2, whereas like a C3 would probably help, but that's not in the set. So I spend a while blending this one out just so it looks better. And then I realized for the top of the ornament, which would probably be silver, I end up using black and then a dark, the dark cool gray, like C7, I think, instead of trying to make another silver on top of silver. I didn't want it to not look even, I guess. So then these two yellows I'm blending out so it's darker in the center. And then I'm going to move on to my red letter. I'm really liking these markers a lot. I think there are a couple like the cool gray of 5 and 4, so C5 and C4. They kind of label them odd. I'm not quite sure why, but I think the C4 says like CO4. I probably showed it to you. But the C5 and C4 are pretty much the same on paper. And there are a couple other sets or couples of colors that are pretty much the same color. Other than that, my only complaint is that I want more colors. So I want more colors in the range so that I can have a more complete set of these. I think they are wonderful for affordable alcohol markers with a brush tip. And hopefully whatever set they come out with, there aren't duplicates from this set and they just expand on it, and you can buy that separately, I hope. And if you could hear me talking while I'm filming, you probably would have heard me curse. at coloring outside of the lines there. So I tried to use the colorless blender. I had already zipped up my Ohuhu pack, so I used the Copic colorless blender, but then I just end up using my white pen later to cover that up. So it's fine. And then at the end here is where I do the black and the darker gray for the tip of that ornament. And I'm going to add more white pen at the bottom of that Y later to cover it up better once I cut out the die cut. So once this is blended, I'm going to, I just pause while I die cut these out because I'm just running them through my mini die cut machine on my desktop. So now those are ready. I'm going to pre-plan on the stitched rectangle. I'm going to lift this up on foam tape and put it on the card base. So this is like a size smaller than the card base itself. I'm going to center the letters where I want them. And then for like the ornament hanger that comes in the set, I'm just going to move down the O just a little bit so that I can stamp it while it's still on there. And then I'll glue it down. I thought about embossing this line as well. But I had already done my embossing and I didn't want to mess with any more sparkle glitter embossing powder. So now I'm going to use my art glitter glue to glue these down. I'm loving this glue. It's kind of funny. If you leave it sitting for a while, it kind of like creates a little bubble on top. So as soon as you're done with it, you want to stick your pin back in. But I love the little nozzle. It hasn't clogged on me so far. I've only used it a handful of times, but keeping the pin in there works. The pointy metal tip is great for controlling how much glue, even though I still managed to squeeze some out and put too much on the back, but that's okay. So it's working really well. And then I did my white pen to clean up my green marker that escaped. And then I'm really just eyeballing this. I should use my T-square ruler, which is what I got that for, was to line up letters properly, but I see something like that and I get it and then I forget about it. But that is when I would have used that, was to line up letters a lot easier. So then I chose the To the World sentiment to add. The other one is To You and Me. And then I'm going to put foam tape all over the back of this. And you get to see my weird method of foam taping things. I'm really loving the wide foam tape. I believe overall, like by square foot or inch, it's cheaper than the thinner stuff I was using, and this just saves me a lot of time, so it's lovely. So then I am going to peel off the back of them. I end up taking this piece off and just cutting it. I don't know what I was thinking. And then stick it down to the card base, and then I will show you it in the light and you can see the lovely sparkles. I've had that embossing powder for probably 10 years and I don't know that I've used it that often. So it was very nice, and hopefully you can see some of the shine in the light. And that is card number 2 for my Christmas card series. Hopefully there are many more to come, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.